Hello and welcome to the Getting Started on the Platform video module. This is part of the Biodata Catalyst powered by 7Bridges onboarding lesson. While watching this video, please keep in mind two key concepts. Number one, the platform is an integrated environment where data tools and compute resources are all co-located. Number two, your dbGaP approvals for controlled data are automatically connected to your Biodata Catalyst account, so you can start analyzing that data immediately. After watching the video, you should be able to create an account and log in using your ERA Commons ID. Navigate through the platform dashboard, check your NHLBI hosted datasets, access via the platform, and finally, understand how you can request pilot cloud credits from NHLBI. Before we get into the 7Bridges platform demo, I want to show you the front door of the Biodata Catalyst ecosystem. So this is the main website, which is found at biodatacatalyst.nhlbi.nih.gov. And this is the main website you need to go to find anything about the ecosystem. A couple things I want to point out to you is if you'd like to join the ecosystem, go to the website under the Contact submenu, click on Join the Community and fill out this form, and that'll allow you to log in to the ecosystem. It'll give you access to the help desk as well as forums. You'll also be able to check your hosted dataset access from this website as well as another website on 7Bridges, which I'll show you. So once you're back at the main page here, if you need to access 7Bridges, click on Resources, click on Services, and scroll down to Analyze Data in Cloud-Based Shared Workspaces. And this will give you the link to launch 7Bridges platform. You can also bookmark that website, and you can also access documentation as well. For this video's demonstration, we are going to do the following. The first is I'm going to show you how you would start to create a 7Bridges account and what screen you need to go to do that. The second is we're going to tour the platform dashboard and check dataset access inside of the Biodata Catalyst powered by 7Bridges platform. By the way, the platform dashboard is the first screen, sort of like the home screen users see after they log on. Finally, I'll show you how you can request NHLBI cloud credits to start to fully test out the platform on your own. Okay, so from the Services tab under Analyze Data in Cloud-Based Shared Workspaces, we click on the Launch button, which will take us to the login screen for Biodata Catalyst powered by 7Bridges. So here's the main login screen for Biodata Catalyst powered by 7Bridges. And as you can see, you have some options here. After you already have an account, you can just click on Login with ERA Commons. If this is your first time on the platform, you should click Create an Account. After you click Create an Account, it gives you some options. One, it says, again, you can continue with ERA Commons, which is the preferred mechanism for creating accounts. And it's, if you do not have an ERA Commons ID, we recommend that you contact your institution and acquire an ID so you can log on to not only 7Bridges, but the Biodata Catalyst ecosystem. So let's continue with ERA Commons, which takes you to this website on auth.nih.gov. And you simply fill out your ERA Commons information here and click Sign In. There's some other options here as well for using a smart card. So after you fill this in, you click sign in. It'll take you back to the platform. If you do have access to controlled data, so you don't actually need to have access to any of the controlled data sets such as top, mid, etc. But you do need an ERA Commons ID to be able to use that to log in. When you log in, and if your dbGaP credentials do give you access to one or more controlled and hosted data sets, the platform will give you a quiz to make sure you understand how to appropriately use controlled data on the platform. Now I want to show you how it looks like for me to log in with ERA Commons. So we're back on the platform login screen. By the way, I'll put this link in the description below the video. I click Login with ERA Commons, which takes me to the website, and I make sure my username and password are filled in. By the way, the username is we're using the ERA Commons user ID to log in, but this will be different, and it's not necessarily the same as your Seven Bridges ID. You'll have a chance to choose that when you go through the full account creation process. So I click sign in, and then I go through the Gen 3 Data Commons authorization process. I click yes to I authorize. And it takes me to the platform dashboard. So the platform dashboard will be laid out the same for all users, but obviously users will belong to different projects. So these are all my projects on the left side, and I see my most recent analyses on the right side. So we'll go into projects and analysis and files in detail in future videos, but I just want to orientate you to the platform dashboard. So projects are on the left side, analysis are on the right side. If I click on any one of the projects, I'll see more details about that um, particular workspace. So projects are analogous to workspaces. They are the places where you can do um, analysis on your data. Uh, Along the top menu bar, I have another way to view all my projects or make a new project. Under on the data drop-down menu, I can access Data Browser. There'll be another video on that, but briefly, Data Browser is how you can access the NHLBI hosted data sets. The public gallery will give me some public Seven Bridges hosted reference files, and more importantly, apps. So there's a video on public apps gallery, which I recommend that you should watch. We also have public projects, which are fully worked out example analyses. These include chest imaging, variant calling, the picture API, image segmentation, and a really thorough Genesis tutorial for doing GWAS. The developer dropdown is everyone has access to this if you want to start to develop your own apps, and that includes a free to use Docker registry where you can host private or public Docker images, and of course you can get your private authentication token there as well. On the right side, you'll see your username. So remember, this is not necessarily the same as your ERA Commons ID. So mine is almost the same. It's just I was given the opportunity to choose it when I made Seven Bridges account. So this is the one that I chose. And in this dropdown, you have three sections: account settings, payments, and email notifications. And of course, you can use this dropdown to sign out. Payments is really a screen that we'll go into later, and that's how you manage your cloud credit billing group. So there's a lot of opportunity there to stay organized and to add different types of funding that you may be getting. That's also how you could view your pilot cloud credits. So if I click on account settings, I'll see some different access levels that I have, and I can click on dataset access. Dataset access is the screen that you can use to check to see your controlled dataset access for the hosted NHLBI controlled dataset. So as you can see that this particular account does not have access to these studies. The final part of the demonstration is how to request NHLBI pilot cloud credits. So the website that we're on right now is the main ecosystem front door, biodatacatalyst.nhlbi.nih.gov. The link will be down below the video. So from the main website, find the resources dropdown and click on cloud credits. And this will explain everything about cloud credits and how they're used on Biodata Catalyst. And it has a section on pilot funding. So new users of the ecosystem who are affiliated with non-commercial entities may apply for initial $500 in cloud credits, and these are known as pilot credits. Now, when you make a when you make a user ID on 7bridges, you have this billing group for pilot credits. More on this later on the billing group video, but it's not populated with any cloud funding. You first have to request it from NHLBI. So this $500 can be used to learn the platform and do some initial testing before you decide to scale up your research on the cloud. So if we keep scrolling down, we see the cloud credits request form. And it's a really easy form to fill out. We need your name, email address, your PI if applicable, your role, any collaborators you may have that'll be using the platform. And is your research, you need to answer this question, is your research related to heart, lung, blood, or sleep disorder research? And you have the option to click on the initial pilot cloud credit request or indicate that this is an additional cloud credit request that you want NHLBI to examine. And once you hit submit, the turnaround is pretty fast. So we recommend requesting those shortly after you make an account. You won't be able to store any new data or run any analyses unless you have some type of cloud credits in your in one or more of your billing groups. But you can still uh, do everything in the onboarding tutorial with the exception of the very last part, which is running an analysis. This concludes the Getting Started on the Platform video. Here are some key takeaways. The first is that you can easily create an account on Biodata Catalyst powered by 7bridges using your ERA Commons ID. The second is the platform dashboard gives you access to create projects, browse data, look at the public apps gallery to find software tools, and also to check your controlled dataset access levels. Finally, you can request pilot fund cloud credits via the Biodata Catalyst ecosystem website, which we showed you. And here's the link to the cloud credit request form on this slide, and it'll also be in the video description. So the very next video we recommend that you watched in the onboarding playlist is project creation and collaboration, where you'll learn about how important projects are and how they're the main organizational unit on the 7bridges platform. They're really containers for your files and your applications and your analysis. See you in the next video.